Welcome back to another serving of side dish. This week I want to tell you a story about a series that I did called Nightingales. It was an Aaron Spelling series, and if you know Aaron Spelling, he was massive. So he did Love Boat, he did Dynasty, I think, he did 90210. He was an incredible producer. But this was called Nightingales, and it was about nurses. And one of the nurses is actually a good friend of mine, and her name is Chelsea Field. And she played a nurse that when she wasn't nursing, she was dancing in a club. Of course, that's what all nurses do. So the director at the time was Mimi Leader. She just did the morning show, and she's just done a million things, an incredible director. And this was more at the beginning of her career. We sit down and she goes, you know, here are my ideas. And I don't know, as a choreographer, if you guys have the same situation, but you're sitting with someone and you have all your ideas. So I listened to her, and then I said to her, look, let me tell you my ideas, and you can tell me to fuck off. I don't give a shit. Just let me tell you mine, and then we'll go from there. And she went, sure. She was so cool. So I tell her my whole story, and then she literally takes the script and she tears it in half and tears it again and keeps tearing it. She throws it up over her shoulders and says, go. So now I have Chelsea Field, and that's all I'm given. Here's the actress. She dances in a club, go, right? So I wanted guys, right? Everybody wants men dancing with this gorgeous female. And so I went and asked for 2 men, and they said, no, we don't have the budget. So then I asked for 1 guy, and they say, no, we don't have the budget. So then I said, okay, can I have 2 mannequins? And they say, no, we don't have the budget. So I keep going. I said, all right, how about if I have 1.5 mannequins? And they said, yes, I got them at 1.5 mannequins. So I choreograph it, understanding that I'll have 1 mannequin down on the floor and 1 mannequin standing. And I want them to move with her like they're human beings. So I have her hold a cigarette, and I have the crew put together the half mannequin so that on cue, she turns and jumps down to the floor with her cigarette, and the mannequin puts up his arm, and he's holding a lighter and lights her cigarette. And then I put her in this cage of lights, right? Just streams of red light. So it looks like she doesn't know where she is and she's getting hot. And all of a sudden she turns, and my mannequin that's standing, I have him rigged so that he's holding a fan and he goes up and down and fans her. And obviously the wind machine is behind and they blow, and I think I'm being brilliant. But it's kind of funny. I like telling these stories because all you choreographers and even dancers out there, we're given these tasks of just, it's a lot of no budget, and then we figure it out. So I guess I figured it out. We need to toast to figuring this shit out, yeah? So let me get my glass. Here's to another segment of Side Dish, and here's to you, and here's to figuring it out.